and yeah, and speak like really quickly about my journey so that you can know what deems me credible to be teaching you this, and also just to know who you're learning from, So I always give that information. So I like to ask that back to see if who can relate and remember that. So yeah, what first let's make it even more interesting. What parish? Because you will have to find all of this when you search if you know where I'm from in Jamaica. So what parish am I from?
Sorry, I couldn't find my Zoom.
Oh,
So you're from, sorry,
wait,
that's
wait.
my group, right?
No confusion. What coast am I from? Let's start with
So
the coast.
you're from the North Coast. I know you're from Ochi. I remember
Yes.
that. And so I Googled it, and Ochi's in the North Coast. Very nice, beautiful place. And I think that's Saint Anne.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And what town?
Oh, I don't know. That I don't know. Maybe Tati has
Anyone else? From Bustamante.
Tati. There's only me and her, so I'm not sure if she
Okay.
knows.
Tati, you know what town am I from? So we narrowed it down to from the coast to the parish. So now, do you know the town? And this will help people, like giving people, whichever one is there, but you will learn cities from Jamaica that you can Google and, find information about, and, learn places like even before you go there. So you can start with where I'm from.
So
So we
question.
did say it's North Coast,
Yes,
Saint
correct. No,
Anne, and Ocho Rios. What else? What else do you want to know?
What street he was born on?
What street?
What was his address?
We're a hospital.
what hospital? What hospital am I born?
What corner store he goes to.
All right, forget you guys. So Tati did say it. I'm from Ocherius. Born and raised, and I moved there when I was around 16 or so. Right, Sean?
Maybe like 15, but
Yeah, like 15 or so. So Shanika, since Shanika has been here my whole life, she knows the whole history. So have you growing up with me, Shanika, you have experience, and this is not even stage. She's really surprised I'm asking her these questions now. Do you attest to my knowledge, like while going to Ocherius Primary School, that I was a part of the arts, playing the drums, doing the different dances underneath the holding area, um, dancing in the community, creating choreographies in our backyard and training with other guys, and guys leaving from other town, like from Snow Hill, from Python, from that to come dance with me and train. Do you attest to this?
yes, I do. I've attended some of your performances. Well, group performances where you're drumming, dancing,
Mhm.
and not only arts, but sports. But we're not here for that, right?
Yeah, I'm a big deal in my city. Okay. All right. Um, Second question. Moving on. So everyone, clarity. North Coast, to be exact, North Coast. Um, Saint Anne the parish and Ocherius the town for the instructor of DH Evolution. So you can search those parish and city, and try to get the landmark, try to go look at some pictures, and you'll see what kind of paradise I'm from.
Now,
Okay.
where did your instructor acquire the historical information being taught in the program?
So it's a primary school.
Uh okay. That's wrong.
No.
I'm kidding.
Where I mean throughout your life, but you started at
Oh,
primary.
you're right. You're right. So remember, I want the question sometimes will make you overthink if you know me for a long while and then you start to think of what is he saying. Please also be advised that each question for each class is it's mainly and mostly directed from our last class. So if I'm saying the history of what I'm teaching you, it's from the last class. It's not from my whole entire history. So don't get technical or overthink stuff, or it's just think of every assignment as from the last class, you know? So if it's not relating to last class, it's taking you farther away from the answer. So correct. Before class I was explaining that each like everyone gets an opportunity to do, like in primary school, you get the opportunity to do either arts or sports. The more up you go in the educational system, they open more opportunities. But just to begin with, it's the arts or the sports. And the arts will more directly be about culture. It's not like street style. So because we're young and they want to keep things PG, the best way to do that is to teach students about the history. So the arts is going to be about playing the drums, doing the historical dances, competing in cultural festivals all over the country. So that's what the arts will be for music. And like play instruments like the flute or the flute, the recorder, the recorder or the drums, the percussion drums or the other the drums or different instruments like the tambourine, different stuff. Like just more historical stuff having to do with arts. Huh?
I would say more traditional type of
More
instruments,
type stuff.
drums,
Yeah.
tambourine, all that, except, the more classical, fine-tuned, instruments.
Yeah. Because this is how we will keep it PG instead of having students dancing to like a vibes cartel or training to stuff like that. But I'm going to get down into how street style gets mixed and how we get exposed to street style earlier. We're gonna get there. But yeah, so that's where I acquired the knowledge, and over time of just training and keep going and going and going and going with dancehall, almost like 15 years now. I feel like the main reason of why I created this program is that I feel like I'm sitting on all this knowledge and I'm just like, yo, if God forbid, I'm supposed to pass tomorrow, like no one acquired anything. I'm here teaching, but I feel like I'm not really teaching. I'm just actually just expressing. And everyone is just receiving my expression. So my expression, you cannot be me. So if you're just receiving my expression, you can never be me. You're just receiving me to be like, oh, I know bling a little bit. But if I'm giving you information and I'm making your brain more substantial, like information that you can use, you don't even have to say that I'm the one that taught you. Because once I give it to you, you use it in your own way. I would love to get the credit, but you're getting information. It's growth and it's just more like substance is my best word. And this is stronger than just like an expression of just saying like, oh, I love this song and I did this choreography and this is how it is, or just teaching you the dances that I've created and stuff like that. I felt like I was dancing too long and too much invested into the culture for me to only just give you what I am expressing. So I definitely took a step back and I kind of went in and think about it. And I was just like, what's the best way that I can get the student involvement in learning and actually being excited to do it and actually being, and this is how this all created when I was just like, okay, then I definitely want to pass on everything that I've known. So however reason that people will look at me like, yo, bling is the shit or bling really knows his stuff or whatever, it's the same reason I feel like anyone can be looked at. It's just if you put the time into it. Because over the time of me training I wasn't training to be somewhere. It was just like, it was just naturally acquired. Like it was just over time living in Jamaica, loving it. Naturally, you're going to be around the stuff that influence you and the people that influence, and you learn more and more. So just like you loving dancehall and you're being around me now, getting stuff from me, getting influenced by me, it's giving you more information that whoever that looks up to you in the future, you will feel like, yo, I took this class, I took that, I took all this. You're going to want, I mean, anyone that really lives a life of fulfillment, you're going to want to fulfill some type of purpose. And by you acquiring all this knowledge, you're going to take the responsibility of trying to share it, you know? So that's starting with me right now. And that's the main purpose of the program and the main purpose of educating students, and also the direction. Because without you knowing where we're coming from, you don't know where we're going. So you're supporting a cause, but you have no idea in where it's going, or you're just hopping on the wave, basically. You're not really knowing anything. You're just liking how it's moving your body and how it's making you feel and how it's making you like present, but it's just like you still do not feel the connection, or you still do not understand. Like certain stuff will leave you standing still, like I don't know that or whatever. You know, so it's really good. It's really good that you guys are invested in this, and it's really great that I made the decision to offer this. I will love that not only myself and many other teachers from all over the world just start to teach students their journey. It doesn't even have to be like everyone is teaching the dancehall history. Just teach from when you fell in love with it and what made you got to where you are now. That might inspire people to take this more seriously, to want to be more credible and more substantial. And overall, you're just gonna have a better platform if everyone is feeling and thinking like this. So yeah, on to the next question. I think I dragged like two questions out of that one, but amazing. You know I can't do without it. Can't do without chatting. All right, two more questions for JCDC. Um, Go ahead, Bustamante. Tell us what that acronym is for, please.
So it's Jamaica Cultural Development Commission.
Yeah. Commission. Commission or commissioner or commissionist. Which one? I didn't hear you.
I think it's commission.
Okay, good.
Sorry, my Zoom is acting up.
I want you to be sure. I want you to be sure.
It's
Okay?
commission. Yeah.
It's commission. Okay. So this is like the legal legislative group of powerful cultural ambassadors that are like, I myself need to take a dive into who these people are. I feel like I know the purpose and what it stands for. It's just keeping the breath of history alive in Jamaica. These people are maybe a big part of the decision of why we should use cultural intelligence through arts in primary school, because that's when kids are younger, and the younger we get to teach them about their culture is the more cultural appropriate they'll be growing up. So I feel like they might be a part of this. So myself need to dive deeper into knowledge of JCDC. For me, the knowledge that I do have is that JCDC was they are the founders of the festivals that all schools will compete. So me attending Ocherius Primary School, someone else will be attending um let's say Montego Bay High School, and it's gonna be a big festival. And every year we in Montego Bay is always competing, always, because when you're invested in folk, you start to be creative and make it like a choreography, and you make it in your own way. Um, JCDC will have these festivals that will be in place for the students to compete and present the only history at the beginning. Now I see them kind of branching off to do like world reggae dance and stuff like that. But in the beginning, it was only culturally history. Um, JCDC, they do different events in Jamaica. Um, they um, they they support anything that has to do with the performing arts of Jamaica, not just dancing. So you have the acting side, you have they do like cultural skits. Sorry. Skits were is a big part of Jamaican history too, like a play type of thing. They will do the dance, the play, the singing, anything like culturally talking about Jamaica, like songs, like they will do the cultural songs for the year. So they will do a competition for that. Like if you live in Jamaica, Shan, I don't know if you remember, like every time of the year, I don't know, oh, what the hell? Around Independence Day, they will have like a big worldwide competition of the best song and music video that has to do with Jamaican heritage. And it will be a competition over. So every morning you wake up, you'll hear a different one. And then they'll have text 22221 to vote for this song. And then the voting goes, and that's how it goes. So JCDC has a lot to do behind of that too. So you get JCDC is just the commissioner of just keeping the culture alive in Jamaica, keeping the student, the younger adults and like aware of what culture is. Like, I feel like culture is a big part of everyone. If you don't have culture, that's your business, but culture is a big part of everyone. And for how sorry, damn. For how prideful Jamaicans are and how they are over there, it's just a small country, but so much big accomplishments like Bob Marley, Usain Bolt, all these big names that you see over the years that come from small Jamaica. They're really prideful. So with that being said, we still need to have every new generation to know where our country is coming from and all the great achievements, from the heroes to the different entertainers, to the different actors, to the different sportsmen, sportswomen, all these stuff, the bobsled team, all these little things behind history. They incorporate that in the schools. So JCDC will fund the schools books that have to do with the bobsled team. Maybe just give them different names and just like, spin off the story of the bobsled, the historical bobsled team from Jamaica. Do like different spin-off of like the run the great runners from back then, stuff like that. Keeping the history alive. So right now I see JCDC doing more. They're not just only culture now. Now I see they're sponsoring like events like World Dance Reggae. And World Dance Reggae, you can go in there and you'll see like it's kind of like a dancing dynamite. I don't know if everyone here know what dancing dynamite is. It's kind of like a commercial dancing dynamite. Dancing dynamite is strictly street. Like most of your popular groups that you might have known today have emerged from dancing dynamite. For example, Black Eagles. Their career really took a turn after dancing dynamite. Um, world dance reggae would be more of like a commercial style. So it's not only going to be like your new school type of dance. People will still be in there doing like African dance, all this stuff. So it's just like the bigger production wins. It doesn't matter what the genre is, but it's all Jamaica culture. Everybody good with that?
What about the batted and then battles?
All right, nice. Good question. So better than them battles. Better than them is those are really newer and fairly newer brands also. So people are seeing how big of an influence dancing is in Jamaica. Like right now, dancing is literally they need to make another market name for dancing in Jamaica, because dancing is like the main holder of the tourism right now in Jamaica. Because now you're having all the Europeans, all the people from all over the world coming to Jamaica. You know, so dancing is like now a big fact, not just for the landmarks or for the food or for the events, but people are coming for strictly just dancing now. People are coming for strictly dancing now. So um Baladan is sponsored by Boom. Boom is an energy drink. So the energy drink brands, they like to like spin off of dancing, because energy dance, you know, like before Boom it was, what's the next energy drink called? I think it's called, I think Lucozade or something like that.
Yeah.
Lucozade, yeah, they were doing some dance thing, but they were doing it on the street. It wasn't televised like Boom and all of them other stuff. But Boom is more of a street thing. So Boom already were like taking steps in the street, like not just commercially. They were just also doing the street events. Like Boom will go support like a street that like when DJs are gonna play like a street dancehall party. If two dance like selectors, we call it in Jamaica. In here you say DJ, but they say selector. Like if there's a big selector clash, Boom will sponsor it. Or if there's a party like a Boom Sundays is a big popular dancehall party that, you know, is congested in the street, no clubs or anything. Boom will support it. They will bring like a lot of banners and Boom, and they will like do contracts with the organizers of this in the street. So they already was making a mark in the street already. So they just spin off of that and just be like, oh, we already supporting the street. We already have an energy drink. It's just all like, it's all PR stuff, you know? Energy, dance, and they're like, okay, then let's do a dance battle. Let's just, you know, the dance as them, and let's do that. So it's all business mixed with the influence of dance also for Boom. But Boom is not really for the culture of the historical culture. My correction is not really for historical culture. Is more for like, you will have other brands in Jamaica, like I feel Graces and a couple other brands that are more supporting of the historical parts, because Jamaica has two different like social class. You have the upper class, just like everywhere. You have the upper class. There is an upper class in Jamaica that will consider like street dancehall and all this stuff kind of like, they think of it like more ragamuffin, like it's kind of like too rough. That's not really Jamaican culture. 'Cause Jamaican culture is more, you know, English colonizing, respectful type of like, you know, type of thing going on. So there is two different classes of people in Jamaica. So the brands of this social class of the upper scale people, they will support more historical things, because that is more not even presentable. I'm not even gonna diss my own thing. That it's more, what you would say, less revealing, less rough, or less, it's more, I don't know the word that I want to say, but it's just more appropriate in their eyes, for kids, appropriate for everyone. So they will support strictly history and culture. And then you have newer brands like Boom and all these stuff that might be owned by younger people, stuff like that. They don't have no problem like supporting the biggest, baddest street party in Jamaica. So that's the difference. And JCDC is definitely in the middle, but for the history mostly.
Okay. Explain the cultural ties between Jamaican youth and JCDC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think I
I
kind
think
of,
it was kind of answered, but,
Right?
yeah.
but
Well,
I can summarize our answer.
Mm-hmm.
which was that it is basically it promotes cultural programs across Jamaica, and it plays a part in stimulating the culture for youth through activities like contests, pageants, concerts, events, training, etc., to support Jamaican youth in their development of their art form. So that was kind of what we had for that answer. But
Great.
I do have a question though. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know the answer. Do you know who funds JCDC? Is it nonprofit or like where do
I,
they get their money from?
I feel like um that's a deep answer. So I don't really know the answer, but I will definitely good question. And like I just said, I really need to deeper into this if I'm really about culture. Say for instance, when my time comes that Jamaica wants to give me acclamation for the work that I've been doing of spreading the culture overseas, I will know enough information of what or who to talk to. So that's a good question. Um, I really feel like just like any other government, they have like pyramid of different channel of money. Like this side of the money is for arts, this side of the money is for that, and they have different governments for each. And I feel like that's maybe how they spread it, but I feel like they get it's like I feel like it's a constant flip from all the different things they've invested in the future, because the schools do pay to enter certain of the competitions. So I feel like they get money from this also, but not enough money to keep a government, like you said. But I'm pretty sure they're funded still by the Constitution of Jamaica.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like it's both. Like they're funded, like they have to get paid from the government, and they make money from the country. So I think that's my naive answer, but I'll do my research on that. Good question. Good question, Kat. All right. So we completed our first 4 questions, and we are doing okay on time. Feel like these were some of the more um lengthy answers ones, so we should be good still. Yeah, this is how the lectures will go. It will go, it's strictly informative. We're not rushing it, neither nor I'm hurrying it. Just so however it ends, it ends. So I'll try to keep the fluid processes going. So the second
I don't know why that keeps happening. You're on.
Is it just
Sir.
me or did he?
sorry, so we're gonna keep it moving. I don't know. What's the last thing you heard? Great question, Kat. You're giving me research myself. I already made that disclaimer. And I don't know if you heard my answer before it was muted, but that's my naive answer. But I'll do the research for your question. I'll give that to you before this program ends, okay? Um the
Okay.
next we're gonna have Garvey. We're gonna keep the questions going. You can ask Sean.
Who is the current chairman of the JCC?
I believe the current chairwoman is
Good.
Nadine Baser.
Yeah, that's correct. I think that was tricky because when you said chairman, yeah, I think about a man. So I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Regardless, it was kind of a question because when you Google that, they come up with there's like different sections of people that they put. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was a tough one because we came up with 3 different answers, but we just decided to go on.
Well, it's got Dr. Dennis Howard. Like that's what I got.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like there's different chairs and different responsibilities for each chair. So I think that's why we got multiple answers.
It seems like, yeah, the subcommittees have their own chairperson.
Like
Okay.
on their website, there's like a phone number, and I tried to call it, be like, "Who's the chairman?"
Wow.
Like
Bruh.
Oh,
My God.
it was too far. Like it said, they said I had to like upgrade my phone plan to make the phone call.
Yo, Justin,
I'm
what you say?
dead.
Let me speak to the chairman.
That's exactly what I was at college.
Yo, yo, Justin, you never fail to take you always take the classes away, bro. What's up?
Just called them up.
Yo. All right. So I feel like when I was doing, because I definitely do partial research before the questions, I want you to go in and look for your own information yourselves too. Many of the questions are vague because I want you to see and find other names, other people, like who is this person, who is that. So you're not only learning one answer from the question,
Classes and stuff. They're like MFA students and stuff.
you're not only learning one answer, but we need to present the best answer. So the best answer is
Was raised at, like I could tell.
Yeah, somebody's picked up.
yeah, somebody have to mute them.
go ahead. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, definitely. Like you were explaining the different people have different cheers, I guess. But I was seeing that lady mostly. I feel like they're going not an overthrow, but they're going through a change of leadership currently. I think from the last 2 years or something like that. So that's why the information is kind of like twisted, because I think they had like the same person for like over 12 or 15 years, 13 to 15 years. And then they're just changing that in less than the last 2 3 years. So that's why you're seeing that. But the most repetitive name I seen was that lady's name. So I thought it was tricky that it's a she, but it says chairman. So I'm happy that you guys also know a woman can be a chairman. Make sense?
Yes, makes sense. They should
I
change the
did-
wording, but it's okay.
They should change the wording. Wow, the feminism here. But I think well, women want to be man every day. So here you go, have one.
I don't want to be a man.
Next question.
Sean, let's keep this going.
We could just ask who is the chair and just think about that.
All right. Who is considered the queen of Jamaican folk culture with honorable distinctions?
So I put Queen Nanny.
Sorry, but I
wrong.
disagree.
Queen.
We didn't get to go over
Here.
our questions to kind of get this cut us off, but I put Miss Lowe. That's how you say Lowe?
Lou.
Lou. There we go.
Oh, boom.
Louise Bennett.
Louise Bennett, to be more precise.
Specific. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to research that.
Where
Alright.
did you find that answer?
Pardon?
Where did you guys find that answer? Because I got this person.
Queenie?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
No, Justin. You're taking too far though, man.
If you Googled, I think the actual wording of the question, it was one of the first ones that came up in Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's definitely Miss Lou. Miss Lou is literally. I'm gonna send you guys a song that they
She's the
did a
best
tribute.
person ever. That's what she is.
Yeah, she is Jamaican folklore history. Like she's everything. You see, like how we give Bogle the title of this whole thing that we're doing now that has literally nothing to do with him because it's like 5 generations of dancer that changed, but everyone still gives Bogle the king of dancehall. I think it's the same when it comes to Louise Bennett. No matter how many years after she have made like she have like imprinted herself like the biggest thing in folk. She was traveling, touring England, going everywhere, doing like Jamaican folklore history. Like what I'm doing right now is just like a tap of what you'll do, you know? Like Miss Lou was traveling with dancers. Miss Lou was like, she was on almost every televised thing that you can think of. You know, like her attire was folklore. Like she wore folk. She spoke folk. She sing it. She lived it. She was literally it. So once you see her, you can see like Jamaican history on her wherever she is. So definitely, she was distinguished by the Jamaican government also as the queen of the folk history and everything. So yeah.
Question. Is she that was promoting or like poets or
Yeah.
poems that she would okay.
Yes. So there's really popular poems that she have written, and she has embraced the patois language when patois was like really, this is crazy. Gems. When people just look at stuff like just like how today they look at daggering as like what type of hooligan kind of wretched behavior is this? This is, people that are against daggering, but they don't know it's just an expression of culture and just the sexual enticement that dancehall has, and just like people being confident that they look good and they just, dash out and skin out and that mean them parts is clean and da 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 da. They don't know that's the expression of that because, people do that because they know like, oh, if you smell a certain way, you wouldn't be wanting to do all of this on a man. If you never look good, you wouldn't have the confidence to go in the middle. People don't get that definition behind daggering. You get what I'm saying? Just like that, back then, Louise Bennett poems would be in patois. Like, as I said, Jamaica is English colonized. So you would expect that they would have tried to bring that sense of decency, of cup of tea type of thing to our country and our culture and try to like get us to be this way. And over the years, of Louise Bennett's history, she just was so Jamaican history that even when everyone else would be writing poems in proper English and stuff like that, she was like strictly like talking like the most strongest kind of patois you'll ever do. So she kind of distinguished or broken English or native language better
And real
than
quick,
what else would do. She invested into making sure that our voices was heard. That's exactly what it is.
yes, I need to step in here a little bit. This is my area of expertise.
Mm.
It's not broken English, but
Okay.
there, okay. One of the most impactful part of her experience is the fact that she is kind of normalizing the fact that Jamaican Walla Walla culture is Jamaican culture. This trying to be closer to European standards and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
our culture.
Mm-hmm.
I have this book here, Be a Sick Jamaican, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to bring our language into literature because for its entire existence, Jamaican English, Jamaican patois, it has been spoken. It's never been written. So it's not until just the 21st century that we're actually coming up with a system to be able to write it. So I have this book recommendation here by Larry Chang. Okay. He has come up with a lot of our historical kind of literature, but because it was spoken literature, you know, it's in a lot of our songs and what our parents are telling us. All of it is all in here, and for the first time being written as its own language and not some sort of denomination of English that is lesser than, right? So yeah, I just wanted to step in there because we're not saying that. Okay, it's not broken.
Okay. Okay. All right. I needed that also.
I'm sorry. Can you write down the name of the book, please, so I can like search it?
I can put it in the chat for you.
Wow, look at these gems dropping in this. This is what I'm telling you. See, I like this organic type of thing, you know? It just happens. It's just, yeah. It just look, the people have book now if you go learn patois. Yeah, I say.
I got a question. Her titles, for example, like the ones the OJ title, it says it's equivalent to a knighthood. So is there like, because I was noticing that it doesn't list any titles. So like, what is there like an equivalent title that somebody who receives an honor like that is called, like by the Jamaican government or by people in general? Like like sir, whatever meant, like when somebody receives.
It would be honorable.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't written in the article, so I was curious. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully I could get a honorable soon, man. That's what I'm working on. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm trying to be noticed by my country. Yeah.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
Off of what was said, I think this is like so important because when I was growing up, half of my family, like I was given books in patois, and other half is like, no, we speak proper English in this house. So I don't really, it was hard adjusting to that growing up. I wasn't really sure what to do.
I can relate to you in that area, but listen, our culture is valid in itself, okay? There is nothing else. All right. So that's why I really love this book, because for the first time they're trying to standardize written patois. Because right now we all just write it the way we think.
Yeah, we think you're right.
Right?
I think I see a dictionary too.
Yeah, there's a dictionary in here. There's a what do you call it? A grammar guide. It's really trying to standardize patois so that it's legitimized in all the other people's eyes, right? Now it's not English. So
yeah, because it's not like your
book recommendation to check it out if you're really trying to learn the language and its connection to all of the arts, because it wasn't written. This came down from our ancestors all these decades, all these true. And
it was written. I don't know. I forgot that song. It was Sunshine and live forever. It wasn't written.
I think Blank just broke my phone. Oh my god.
My screen touch.
Gotta let the artist sing that song. We gotta let the artist sing that song.
Whatever. You know what? That just gave me Junior Gang vibe. Okay. No. You see, it's not like you're ever gonna go to Jamaica, Shan, and they just start speaking proper English. Like, it's never gonna happen. So we need to standardize this for real. It's not like you're ever gonna go there and everyone is speaking proper English. It's never gonna happen.
And even for our own culture there, in the courts, it's better to speak proper English than it is to speak patois. And
true.
Because it's our own culture. There's a lot of stigma and bias within our own people to be able to properly embrace our culture and embrace what really is our culture and not the.
And can Can I interject? And this is why people with street has so much pride. And this is why there's always a clash between the upper scale community and the people from the inner cities. Why? Because the people from the inner cities feel like they're not attached to the upper scale people. People uptown is still getting beaten, like kids are still getting hit to say something in patois. Like if somebody said, "Me nah go," it's like one slap. Like, you get what I'm saying? You get a hit for that. So people in the inner cities don't feel, they don't feel like connected with the people from Rotorua and with all these proper orientation and these big words they use to like to generalize the lower fortunate people. That's why it's gonna always be a political battle in Jamaica with poor people and the upper class people. Because the upper class people, to me, honestly, they stray, they use the money to invest in culture and history, but the people are the culture and history. That the people that are still living today, not just the history. Like I said, they will invest into history instead of a vibes cartel. So they'll rather play like Alton Ellis or something than play a vibes cartel. But guess what? Everyone that was born the last 15 years, upper or lower class, they know vibes cartel. So you have to also still respect the history that is creating in itself so that the country can be better too. It's not like, oh, this is too rough, I'm not supporting this. And that's a big problem. They don't see that this today will be the history of tomorrow. And they're not trying to nurture or trying to fix this. They're just kind of like against it. It's too, I don't like this. Just because it's kind of mixed with crime or it's mixed with like, unwanted pregnancies, is mixed with so much other factors. They don't see ways of working with the influence. Like right now, it's a big thing in Jamaica right now that they're saying like Vybz Scott has been incarcerated for 10 years, right? Crime has gotten worse. But they're saying that Vybz Cartel music influences crime. So how is this happening then? I don't get it. So everyone is like, it's a big thing right now in the courts of Jamaica that they're talking about all the researches and all the stuff I've done over the world. There's no correlation between crime and music. You can tell a person what to do. You can tell a person how to feel, but you can't tell them what to do. So it's like a big thing right now. And it's always gonna be that when it comes to the people in the inner city and the people of the upper class. So to bring it back all the way to the studies, just that pretty sure even though you have JCDC as a commercial and is a part of the Jamaican Constitution, I'm pretty sure because it's culture, it does not have to do with the riches or it has to do with the presentation or the orientation of it. It's more of the culture. So either if you're rich or poor, you can be a part of JCDC. You don't have to have education to be in history. You get me? So I'm pretty sure JCDC and movements like this is like the most uncorrupted movement because it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from, oh, you're not educated, so you don't know what you're talking about. Or you are out there partying, you're drinking this, that, but you don't know? So over time, I just hope that our country respects all history. Just like myself, even though I'm teaching the history, I respect all dancehall. It's not like I'm saying, oh, new school dancehall is trash. This is that. This is that. No, I love and I look at dancehall as one dancehall. So that's the reason why I teach all. So yeah, just a little background on the culture and the government also. Next question.
All right. Name 4. Why is there a typo here? Okay. Name 4 Jamaican folk dances.
Oh, let's go.
Come on now, bust the man teeth, right? Yeah.
Must sleep.
Isn't it Dinky Minnie's one of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Brook, I don't know how to pronounce it. Brookins?
Brookins.
Yes, Brookins. I got two. Y'all give me two more here.
Maple and Baru.
What?
Maypole.
Maypole, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Maypole.
I don't know if Burru. Baru. Baru. I don't know how to.
Gera.
Burro.
Gera. Gerreh. I don't know how to say that.
Buru and Gera, they're kind of like similar, and they're stem from Brookins. So Brookins is like the tree, and the other two you just said is the stem. So those are more Buru and Gera is like, it's more like it's like what you would say. It's like a particular style for an area. You get what I'm saying? It's like being more like, this is what we do in this area, but it's not so general, you know? So I'll put those under Brookins. Brookins will be like so in different parishes, you have different history of Jamaica, you know? Different people settled in Jamaica over the years and stuff like that. So it's gonna be you have the generalized folk history and dance and music, and then you have little shanties where you have different heritage of people that created their own little style. Like for instance, all right, say for instance, you have dancehall, that you have all the different dancers that's creating something. But okay, I was like, I'm creating my catalog of movements, and I say every motion step. So I feel like Gera and Burrow is kind of like that. Like someone created that, but the generalized movements from that would be from Brookins. So you have Maple, Brookins,
Quadrille.
Nice. So anyone see the difference with quadrille and all these styles?
Some are European influenced and some are African diaspora influenced.
Nice. So quadrille is the most European influenced style of our folklore history, but it's pretty cool and we love it, and it's a part of our history also. Yeah, quadrille has a lot to do with the English movement in Jamaica and the whole kings and queens kind of ballroom type of dance, right? But the only difference is that we wear our folklore garments to do that dance. So it's like that dance. Like I hate when people respect other culture and countries more than they respect their own, because we could dress the way like anyone could do other dances, other dance beneath the culture, but it's not that adamant as quadrille. Like quadrille, you have to be in the formal outfit to do it. So why weren't we in the formal outfit to do everything else? All right, sorry about that. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, quadrille is the most formal one. Like you have to be in your formal outfit for quadrille and all these things. I'm like, okay. I always wondered that too. I'm like, why we have to wear this to do this dance? But for this one, all we do is just tie something around our head. You know, like I was like, what? We just tie like a red string around our head and we'll wear our school uniforms. But if we do the quadrille, we have to like dress a certain way. So that's again.
Oh, don't we dress a certain way for that too?
For what, maple?
Ladies, yeah.
The maple, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they pull the ladies wear the dress, but the guys would be in their school uniforms.
And they be in their khakis.
Yeah. What? Well, anyways, yeah. Brookings is the late evolution of daggering. So just like how you have daggering now, Brookings was kind of like something like that. Like in next class, I will show you like a few video of people do Brookings. Yes. It's like kind of like the daggering of today, but not as extreme, but it's with a man and a woman, and it's like you keep going up to each other and you kind of like broke, you know, like how the song said, broke it down. It's like, no, it's like you're broken your chest to each other, like you broke your chest together, and she turns around and she broke like she doing one drop and she doing like, you know, it looks like that, but it's a constant movement. It's not like I just hold her and do it. It's just like all together. It's like a thrust of the body. Like it's like revival, spiritual kind of thing. The Dinky Mini, like I explained in class Sunday, which we did go over the dance style, is that the Dinky Mini, we will use that dance style as in celebrations of different times of life. We don't like maybe times of death, times of marriage, times of just like something significant in the neighborhood that everyone will gather together, like someone birthday night or something big. And most popular though, it's after death. After that, we have a thing called a night. It's the night before the funeral. Everyone come celebrate the person's life, and they keep it. Now, after this, they play the sound systems. But even the other day, like 2 years ago, I went to Jamaica for my grandfather's funeral, the night. They had the drums set. They had the drums there. Everybody was doing dinky mini, all of that stuff. So it depends on the type of life that's passed also. So if any grandparents or anybody, they'll definitely have that type of vibe going on. But if anybody young, 9 nights now coming like a party. It's like a party. And that's just like, I hate that we're losing our cultural touch so much, because back then in the days, it doesn't matter old, young, who dead, the 9 nights is still the same. The 9 nights is still just drums, alcohol, food, and just a vibes. And even if they have the sound system playing, it's just playing like bass and just playing like regular stuff. And if they do play a song, it's like an old song. It's like the 9 nights is just more of a cultural, spiritual lifting of the spirit, you know, of the person that passed or whatever. So yeah. So those are the styles. No one mentioned ring games. No one mentioned
Kumina? No.
Jankuno. No one mentioned the Jankuno, ring game.
Kumina is more tied to the religion. So practices, they would do their dances. So it's not necessarily a popular one, but it definitely is one of our more styles.
Yeah. All right. Any question on that?
What about Gumbai? I was reading up on that. No.
Gumbai?
Yeah.
I feel like there's subclasses of the actual dances that people make in different parishes. They come up with their own thing, yeah. But I was doing the general ones, but these are anything that you learn extra, you should take it as your information. You're now knowing even more than myself, and this is the purpose of this. I don't want you to know equally as I do. Like each era we go down, the more information you find, and it seems as if, oh, Bling didn't dive there. I need you to dive there. You get what I'm saying? So that's the purpose of this. So
We
yeah,
have
but I didn't grow up hearing the Borough, the Gary, all of this stuff. I feel like if I lived in that town, that's how people are prideful of historicals, that they create their own thing or their own name. Like we will have the same name for something. Like my mom is from the opposite side of the country from where we grew up, and we will have the same thing and they call it a different name.
Different
Like
thing.
the same fruit, they
Different.
call it a different name. So it's just how, it's just the, yeah, it's just the what you would call it, the geographic demographics.
Yes,
I'm
because
curious.
small as Jamaica is, there are lots of separations in terms of boundaries because of how it was colonized. So you have like the Spanish colonized
Yeah.
areas that remain Spanish influence, and then the more British influence, like, English. And some of them flip flop where they were first Spanish, then they were English, and then they were Spanish again, and then English again. And then it was just a big convoluted, like, form of influence, and that changed the way they experienced Jamaica, the country, the food, everything, and that influenced them. So even with our mom, she speaks a whole different patois than we do. They have a different twang, different words that they use, certain fruits that are completely differently, named. So when it comes to experiencing the major groups of the folk, dance and music, they then created their own identity out of that. And that's where you have like the little branches going into Gara and
Hmm.
all that.
It's kind of funny. I'm reading the Goombay description, and it talks about how it's basically the type of dance where like you emulate possession. And like I'm Dominican, so we have a very similar kind of dance that's called Los Palos, which is very similar. It's like it's all about possession, and it's got a Afro-religious origin to it. So I was reading the description. I was like, oh, I know exactly. I kind of know exactly what kind of a
Yes,
similar original type of dance from a different place.
Palo, a lot of the religions in Jamaica actually all came out of the same Yoruba pool. So there are lots of influences there. I can get into that. I studied Afro religions and everything. So
Tell us, let us know.
it's
All
a
right,
lot. You don't even know. Like, you take
let's
the
keep going. You guys are enjoying this too much. But I love it. Once you do good, I'm good. So we are approaching the last 15. I really didn't think we would have exceeded. I really don't think we would have exceeded the, the 2 hours, but we did. But let's keep going.
what did ska originate? What year did ska originate? This one.
Wait, this is still.
Yeah.
Okay, to just like kind of speed us up because I know Bling has stuff to do. So when you put it in, when you like look it up, it says the late 1950s, but one of my lovely team members had kind of dug a little bit deeper and kind of like it was more popular in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm. So from our first from our first class that we did, and we kind of like from our first class that we did, and we kind of like hit that iceberg that was just like, is it the late 50s or is it the early 60s? I also did my research. The sound came around the late 50s. So let's say like 58, 57, 58, 59. And the sound was originated around that time. So with everything, just like how dancehall music is changed today, it it did not just come out and emerge and it's like, oh yeah, the music changed. The sound starts first. People start getting familiar with it. People start like playing it on the sound system. People start doing different ska music. Like one person likes the vibe, and then two other people make a music. Two other people make the same sound. Sorry, two other people, influence two other people, and then it keeps growing like that. So by the next 3-4 years, like she said, in the early 60s, it became now like coded type of sound in Jamaica. Like if you play the radio, you can listen 1 hour of this type of vibe, keep going. So yeah, I would say the song created the late 50s, and if you really want to say when the sound had dominance, is like in the early 60s. And ska music really was taking over the charts. Like the people in England started to take on this type of sound also. And I think this type of sound created it had the influence of jazz music also. It's this is more upbeat, but just by the trumpets and the steel drums that they used to use and all this stuff, it kind of created the slower jazz and blues sound that you guys would know of, like that you hear when you go to the shopping mall or something. So yeah, so early 60s, late 50s.
Okay, now that completes us with the Garvey group. We're moving on to the Bogle group. That's Lola and Lonnie. I know you guys wanted extra time, but we're here. Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm rehearsal.
Okay, let's move along.
Say that again. Which popular
Can everybody hear me?
dance? Yeah. Where did she go?
All right, just read the question, Sean.
All right, cool. Right?
Welcome to your final.
Lola, type it in the chat. I think your audio is lagging.
No, I think it's just loud and she's not trying to be loud in the.
Yeah. Just type it, Lola. And Lani, you can take over, my girl. I believe in you.
Her name is Lonnie.
I said Lani. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the
I'm really tired of people correcting me.
It's okay.
Robin, the facial expressions though.
She should tell you she's tired of people saying her name wrong, sir.
Lonnie, I know you got this, girl.
My
We
full
did it
name
in
is
class.
actually very more complicated.
We got you,
It made it
Lonnie.
easier.
We got you.
For you, girl.
Lonnie, we did it in class, Lonnie, and we played the song. We played a song for this dance.
Look in the chat, Lonnie.
I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
There's a chat where we type. If you click on more on the bottom, there's 3 dots, and then you click on chat.
I just don't see anything.
I don't know which one of them is spelled correctly.
The second one is correct.
Okay. So the dance move.
Kaja, whisper it to Lonnie.
Lani, you hear the answer? Yes. Yo, I can't wait to see you training like after another 10 years and just know like how much you're gonna know, how much you're gonna know by the time you're next 10 year and how substantial you're gonna be. You know, just keep dancing and keep training. It's just so beautiful to have you here. You being the youngest student is so fire. Keep up the good work. Yes. So like I was explaining in class, Siva, I like when, me personally, I love when I see moves that I can relate back to my history. You get what I'm saying? It kind of gives you a feeling like we're going in the similar direction from where we're going. We're leading with direction, you know? I feel as if, this is my opinion, the more that you can see a move that you can't relate it back to your history or back to where we're coming from, it's kind of influenced by something else. That's why you cannot really make that connection. And I feel like anything that has to do culturally, like dancehall is a cultural dance, it should give you that feel of always like assurance, like this is what it is. Or, oh, it looks like this, or oh, it's so cool, it reminds me of this, or you know, I enjoy this, but comfortable. I'm comfortable because it's to remind me of this. It should be in the same this all the time, but just constantly transforming and perfection. But I feel like, you know, many of the dance moves that we see now lately, they are mainly influenced by a different style. Not that is wrong. It's a part of the transformation that may have got dancehall to be as popular as it is today on an international platform, but it's definitely influenced because many of the moves, majority of the dance moves today that are trending, you can't really make that connection. So over my interactions with like historical dancers like Boise, Overmars, John Hype, who else did I message and talk to? Marlon Bling and other dancers from back then. When I talk to them, they have this way that they're trained different from us. And many have called it now the Bogle traditional way. So the Bogle traditional way is that one music play, one dance, and the world is dancing. You get what I'm saying? We have one movement, this is what we're working with, and this is the movement. And it should be easy that your grandmother can do the dance because dance is for everybody. And also all the body is supposed to be moving from A to point Z, like what Bogle said. All of the body have to move. So they have that thing they call Bogle traditional way, and that's exactly what it symbolizes, just like the world of dance. And it gave like rise to why Bogle might have come up with world dance, because he has this thing that everybody should be able to dance, you know? Everybody should be able to join in as a world move. So when you see groups like, and sorry to make references throughout my explanations, but I feel like that's the best way to give you clarity. It's not to pick on a certain set of people or choose this person or that. I feel like Black Eagles is one of the most dominant and popular dance groups, so I'll make references to their new school style a lot compared to old school style. So, for instance, the moves that Black Eagles them will create today compared to the moves them that Ravers Clavers create, and the way of how they go about it and how they sell the move. So Ding Dong and his team would be the Bogle traditional way. You get what I'm saying? Because they're more, he has a system that Bogle teach him and he's teaching his group, and that's what it is. Black Eagles is a new generation. They have their system that they're teaching everybody and they're teaching the students they're teaching. So it's two different systems. So you will see that the ravers clavers moves are more easier. It's more a vibe. It's more like catchy. It's more like you can do it. Everyone in the party could do it to each song, and then Bo and Ding Dong will make a song significant for that dance. So this is how Bogle used to do it before he died. So he's just Ding Dong has kept that system going, and he has like really really make a lot of success from keeping that system going, and that's cool. Not saying that his system is right or the other is wrong. It's just making that differentiation of why we what was the initial question? Why the move is similar. Ding Dong move was similar to like the historical dance. Because Bogle himself did some history dancing too. He said it. We can maybe send some of his interviews to you guys. He did do some historical dancing himself too before doing his thing, but we'll get into that.
Yo,
All
Bling,
right, man.
Bling, quick question.
Yeah.
So it's just like, can you like explain the difference between like making moves that are like true to the origins of dancehall and like just copying moves?
Okay, so
and the politics behind that.
All right, the politics behind that, and my politics is mine because remember, dancehall doesn't have like a set like legislative things like when it comes to movies. It's just it's just a unforeseen law and like imaginary rules and things that are really abided by the dancers, right? So the creativeness of keeping it strict to the origin of where we're coming from, like I said, if moves are more easier and catchier, it's going to stick to that. It's going to more stick to the Bogo traditional way, which will get everyone to dance and everyone to have fun. But, and I feel like there's two type of dancehall. You get what I'm saying? There's two type of dancehall: creative moves and the vibes that it brings. So none of them is wrong. So what is wrong is that if I say to you that some of the moves them are created today, they are influenced because you can't really make that connection. And then if you now, Justin, as a creator now, you are influenced by this new school moves that are already influenced, and you decide to then make more additional creativeness to that when you do not have the historical context of the study, that's when you start to create away more from the culture, the origin of the dance, as you get what I'm saying. So if dancehall is transforming and you're adding to that transformation without knowing the history, that's how you start to detour like farther from the origin. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So like myself, me now, I know the history. I see the new school moves. I love both. I want to create, but I just don't want to be too much. I don't want to like get away from it. So it's my duty now to try to keep that substantial form when I create something, while also making it fun and entertaining for the new school people. Not making it too easy or too boring or not enough steps or not. It's really a balance of how you mix your substance. So the more substance you have, I feel like the more authentic of a step you can create. That's exactly what it is. The more dancehall substance you have, the more you can create, the more ingredients you have. All right, that's good. Good question, Justin.
I just want to say welcome to Chris. He joined us a little late, but we're happy you're here. We're just going through the questions with the groups. Luckily, your group didn't go yet, so you're all set to go, right?
All right, we have to, class is actually supposed to end at 9. I have a soccer game at 9:45. I'm not trying to pull a muscle, then I can't come teach because I have to be there to at least get a 15-minute stretch or something. So we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna start getting ready, basically, and then we just keep it going. Like by that time, at least I'm not sitting here and wait till class finish. Class is already done, but wait until we finish our questions to then go get ready. Make sense? But I'll still be focused and I'll listen. I already know the answers. I'll give you my explanations as we go down the line, just like we have been doing.
Okay, question 10. Explain the significance of the moves resembling each other. We kind of went through this, so if you want to kind of summarize what that answer was,
Yeah.
just go over that really quickly.
The significance of the moves resembling each other, it's like the significance of the moves resembling each other is like, it's the word I just what's the word I want to use? It's kind of like a reminder, or that's not the word. It's kind of like, shit, the word is right there. It's like an affirmation. That's the word. Affirmation that we are one culture and we are following in the direction that we're coming from. So the more something resembles something from the past, like if I go revamp an old school style or something, someone can look at that stop dancing 10 years ago and be like, yo, that looks like what's his name? Right? And then that right there is just like, oh yeah, it looks like this, but I guess you're revamping it and you're bringing it back. So that move that I'm taking it from is like over a decade years old. So it's still giving the root of that creativity came from the cultural history. So it's just a shape or form that any move that resembles something from the culture, it's kind of like good in the sense of the direction of where we're going with it, because you're giving back credit to the culture or the history, I should say. You're giving that credit to the history. People are really picky with this also. So say for instance, I use someone's move that's historical because history is not so trending at the moment. Like not everyone is teaching this. Not everyone is like doing videos about this. Not everyone is doing blogs or doing posts about this. So it's like when someone wants to go create now and use that information, that creator might feel some type of way because they're just like, it's not trending and you're just taking off of it. So it really don't make sense. All right, continue.
All right. If you were placed in a group last class, you were prompted that the groups were named after some of Jamaica's national heroes. Naming of the groups after the heroes is similar to what system in Jamaica? This one you had to be there. I don't think Google would have helped you here. So let's see.
I got it. Me and Lola got it though.
Awesome.
Lola, do you want to do it? Because you have it too.
Wait, what's going on, Justin?
No, I was asking Lola if she want, because it's still her group's turn, and me and Lola were like doing the homework together before class.
I think Lola is in noise right now, so you can maybe go ahead.
So to find like this answer, it was really hard because I just had to type in like Jamaican heroes until I found like a link on Google. And it was like the societies of honor, the order of Jamaican national hero is given only to Jamaican citizens for services of the most distinguished nature.
Mm-hmm.
To the nation, it can be awarded either posthumously or on the occasion of the recipient's retirement from an active public life.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wish
all the people that we were in groups like Bogle, Bustamante, Garvey, and Manley were all Jamaican national heroes within that prestigious list.
Okay. I feel like I could have asked that question a little bit.
You could have. Can I answer? This is Robin.
Yes.
So in Jamaica, when you're in school, and whether it's primary or like elementary, secondary, or high school, at least I know my school, like our sports activities or like our sports groups, or each class was given the name of well, in some cases it's a national hero. And like that's the team that you participate in extracurricular activities with. So at my school, I went to Roman Catholic high school. We had the names of saints, like I was in Xavier. There was Loyola, all of a bunch of others, but at different schools I could see where they would use national heroes. And so like you belong to Garvey and you do all of your sports and soccer and or football and cricket and netball and any activity with your team, and your team is based on the national hero.
Nice. That's definitely the answer I was looking for, Justin. I wouldn't blame your research for the answer. I think my question was asked into giving such a vague answer, like our too articulate answer. But I'll try my best to make sure the questions have more direction. But definitely, Robin, that's the 100% answer that I'm looking for. Of how the system that we're using right now here, what similar system is used into Jamaica up to this day. Like you can go to a primary school today. Like I really don't think my country has changed that much. I could take you to the primary school that I went to, and I'm pretty sure the system is still there because there was nothing wrong with it. So I don't think they'll ever change it. And it's actually giving information to the actual students. So I really don't think they'll change that. So that's really what I was looking for. Does the answer make sense, Justin? Or is it like way off of what you were looking for?
Because it's just like since I'm American, so like I had to use Google, and I feel like Rabine, that's how you pronounce it?
Robin,
my bad. I was able to give like more of an authentic answer.
Well,
that was a hard one to answer.
But in America, we also kind of do this. I don't know. The school I went to, we kind of did the same thing.
Remember, this is based off of last class. So this was something that was actually mentioned in the class. So although research definitely helps with some of these questions, this particular one was kind of focused on kind of what was mentioned in class. So that's why it was a little sneaky to involve and include into this one. But your research is true. That is not wrong. That is a correct answer. But for this answer, we were looking for, the simpler, what did things say last class, right?
I feel you. Like primary source versus secondary source type thing.
Yeah.
Also, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to know which primary school you went to.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Cheers primary.
Oh, okay, cool.
And my sister here too.
For the smallest amount of time. Yes.
Nice.
We both representing all the way. All right. I think we are now in the Manly region. Okay. So that's Jose and Jeff. And Chris now. We're here. Okay. So this is a true and false section. So I'm just going to read it off And how do you guys feel about making this a group thing too? Just if you have the answer, shout it out so we could get out of here because it's Friday, right? Okay.
Or we
Yeah,
could
let's
just
do
raise
it.
our hands or something.
Huh?
Or we could like raise our hands and pick someone out.
Anyone, whichever works. All right. So, Jamaican folk culture incorporates traditional European influences. True or false?
True.
True.
I say true.
Everybody said true. Anyone say false?
I said false.
I said false because you're traditional European
I have a
influences.
question for you guys. I have a question who had said false. Why did you say false?
I said false because it just seems like a lot of the source material we covered has Afro origin culture. It's kind of, I think, other than the one dance that you mentioned, that was European influence for the most part. It wasn't, but
Okay.
who's right?
I think you kind of have the idea, but it's a little flipped. So both are actually incorporated due to colonization, right? So when we go back to which one was it? The Dinky Mini that we learned, and the whole bowing and curtsying and all of that prior to getting into the dance. Those are basically traditional influence and many others, but that's the one that we kind of mentioned in class. So Jamaican folk culture does, incorporate traditional European influence due to the fact that they were colonized, and most of this is just bred from experience of the people. So kind of subconsciously and through experience, a lot of European traditions and Spanish bled into the actual culture, dance, music, food, everything. So this is a tricky one, but definitely true.
Yeah, it's I see where you were going there, Jose. I definitely see that, like, the folk is more like fighting for Jamaican culture for itself, but it's like something that we can't unwritten that in our culture there will be European culture. So we only did like a synopsis of like everything that we're doing right now. We're just taking out bits or pieces of the culture, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more history. Like, say for instance, if we go down into the ska, the producers of the music might have been European people that came in that does certain stuff. Boom boom. The clothing for some of the dances that we mentioned, it's kind of like Europeanized clothing, like kind of like ballroom type of thing. But only thing is that we use or kind of like native folklore fabric, but the way how they design the hats with the whole thing, it's kind of like like something like the queen would wear,
The dress is
uh,
just really fluffy and
certain of the dances, like the Brookings, it has like a part of the dance has like when a king and two kings started to war. There's no damn king in Jamaica, and I always look at this part of the dance like, what? Like a king with a sword and all this stuff, and yeah. So there's more to it, The more, as I said, the more you put in, is the more you'll get. So it's like, if you hear something and it's iffy and you want to know more, dive in it, and we will chop it up and we'll talk more about it, because it's like you're sharing more knowledge with me and even more clarity for me to give you and give each other. So that's dope. But I see where you were going with that, because we're focused on folk and how it relates to Jamaica and the culture. So most of what you will be hearing as a person that do not have all the information is going to seem like, oh, this is more Afrocentric than Europeanized. But with me knowing more behind what I'm saying to you is how I could ask a question like this, then I could tell you more. But for now, you had the quadrille, and if anyone's seen like how I started the Dinky Mini dance, it's kind of like I was telling you, it's kind of like how a ballroom thing, how they will like do the little dips and turns and little stuff of like, ballroom type of thing. All right.
I'm muted. Okay. Rocksteady originated before ska. True or false?
So we didn't go over Rocksteady, but I wanted to ask that so people could actually see what it is.
I'm gonna say false.
Rocksteady did not originate before ska.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So really quick, everyone knows the reggae music right now, right? Like the Bob Marley and the Chronics and the Coffee is kind of like commercial reggae, but the Coffee, I'm going back. Coffee, Chronics, Protege, Bob Marley, Garnet Silk, all these other slower tempo type of artists, more conscious type of music is dancehall. Sorry, it's reggae, right? Reggae and dancehall is kind of like cousins, but they live together, right? Cousins that grew together. So going back, so you have dancehall we know today. You have the reggae music, right before slower tempo. Then before reggae, you have the rocksteady, which is the slow tempo also. So reggae derived from rocksteady music. But before rocksteady was the ska, and ska is more up tempo and more fast paced and more kind of like most of our folk dances are also kind of fast paced too. So I see the whole, if you want to talk about tempo over timeline, I see coming from folk is fast, and ska is fast, and then we slow down a little with the rocksteady when they started to add all that bass in it and all that, the sound systems and the booming of things, and it got a really bit more slower. And then the reggae came around with the conscious, like when a lot of like war and violence and political violence and World War II and all these things and everyone killing each other. And the conscious part of reggae come when Rastafarians just highly King Selassie the first and the third and second and all these people, they start to they're like a chant of peace. So that music became popular, and that's how Bob Marley came around, and all these other artists beneath that reggae style before the dancehall today. So rocksteady was originated after ska. So
So this
I
is
think
so this statement is false.
this is false. Yes, the music became more popular after ska kind of died out a little bit more. There's a different sound. The sound transformed to rocksteady. Because they were using different instruments too around that time. So I think rocksteady, if I'm not, rocksteady is in um have the late 50s and early 60s. I think it's the late 70s or mid 70s, mid and late. So the sound um originated around the mid 70s.
So if we were to label the origination from beginning to end, it would be mento, ska, rocksteady, reggae, and dancehall.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a question. Where would you fit Lovers Rock in there? Would that be part of Rocksteady?
Yes, Lovers Rock is like the auntie of Rocksteady, yeah. All it's right.
Can we learn Rocksteady on Sunday?
Right. Robin, all it's at talk, right?
Yeah, like Dennis Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they sit beneath the rocksteady movement, like right in that transition going to reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can go over some rocksteady.
Monday.
Sorry, was that Justin?
Yeah.
Justin, if you want, you could check out on Amazon. They have this show called Small Acts. Steve McQueen did this like series, this mini, like a couple of 4 or 6 series. And one of them, he's got this like, it's called like Ode to Rocksteady or something like that. But that's a great kind of like little show to show you like one night, surrounding by Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Small Acts by who?
Steve McQueen. And it's on Amazon Prime. It's called the series is called Small Acts, like AXE. And then look for the episode that's titled Rocksteady.
Okay.
That's dope.
Thank you so much.
I love DHevolution.
All right. So mento is a form of folk dance. True or false?
False.
False.
Good. Everyone got the trick question this year.
I read it was true. When I looked it up, it said true.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mento is music and rocks, not dance.
Yeah. Mentor is a form of music.
It is music. Sorry.
It's okay. I know I had to catch one of y'all. Come over here.
You caught me.
You got me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that question was always there for this reason. I'll catch up people. So you have to pay attention to every detail, the word in everything, just so you can get clarity. So when you see mentor, you're like, what is mentor? You guys go search mentor. You're already looking for a dance, and because the word mentor comes up, you're like, oh yeah, true. So you have to actually read the fullness of the research that you're doing.
All right. So 15. Dinky Mini is a form of folk music. True or false?
This was too easy.
Got it.
False.
All right. Any explanation needed here? All right. All right. So we can move on to the last question of the night, people. We made it. Yeah, originated in the mid-1960s. You should remember this from our first few questions.
Mm-hmm.
True or false?
False.
Oh.
When is it originated?
Late 1950s and popular in the early 1960s.
Nice. Everybody give yourself a round of applause.
Final questions real quick before we wrap up kind of the discussion. I know we went over time. Apologies to Bling.
Mm-hmm. That's so weird. That's the first you ever called me Bling.
Live.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? Any follow-ups?
They're cute.
Awesome. Thanks for hanging
I
in.
have a quick question.
Yeah.
Or this might be better for like next week though, but like you're saying how like reggae and dancehall are cousins, but how does skanking fit into the whole family tree?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Where is he though? Did he just leave?
Skanking comes after. Oh, there he is.
I have a question. Is there any way, because I'm usually not able to be on Zoom at 12:30 on Sunday, is there any way we can have like the session recorded just for access afterwards?
No, he always is recording it. If you can see on the left
I
corner of
don't
your
know
screen,
what the quality will be like.
That's okay. I just want to be able to have the dancing session because it's just literally we and him were talking about it, how like it's Sunday's like the one day, and it's like I can't, and I'm like in a field getting bit by dogs all afternoon. Like, that's what I do for a living.
Wow.
Yeah, I work with law enforcement protection. So I was like, man, we start at 11. I can't really. I was like, man. So when I went back, I was like, maybe it'll be a recorded session. So if we could record it, so just a choreography session, because then I can just in the nighttime on Sunday, I can go back and go over it. That way, I'm caught up. That's about it. I was like, I unless I go on Zoom during training, I don't know. It's gonna be weird, but yeah.
So we do have it on Zoom. So I'll just try and record the Zoom session and see.
Thank you. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, and then if you could either we'll work something out where either you get it to me through WhatsApp, or even if a YouTube upload or something, like a private YouTube upload.
That I can just share it with you and you'll be able to access it. Replay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
You have a question, Lonnie?
Yeah. So I was wondering if you can change my email.
Yeah, I have it down. I have. Hold on. Let me just. Sure.
Bye, everyone. It's been real.
I don't know where Bling is. I can't. You, sir.
Bye, everyone. See you.
I'm here.
Justin had a
Justin.
that you missed. Can you please ask the question again for us, Justin?
I got you. So you're talking about how like reggae and like dancehall are like cousins, but how does skanking fit into the family tree? It's like some yeah. Can you like break it down? Because like sonically, instrumentally,
Yeah.
it sounds like similar to dance.
So the reggae come in with the reggae. Remember, says skanking is not a music. You know that, right? Skanking is not a music style; it's a dance style. So within that reggae, there's a ragamuffin era that comes in like more of a gangster type of thing, a more street rawness of it, and that's how the skanking came in.
So like people skank to Super Cat a lot. So
Yes,
what
and
is Super Cat
Super-
considered? Is he like considered early dancehall or
No, I think this was when there was also a confusion in what's reggae and what's dancehall. So Super Cat for me is early dancehall, early dancehall. Like the Super Cat was one of the bridges from reggae to dancehall.
Bling, would you say it's kind of like, like in rap, like you've got like Cool Herc and like all those guys who originated rap music versus like the current rappers of today? So even though it's still like rap, but it's kind of like early, old school kind of like rap, like that's kind of like, what do you call it? Not a metaphor, but an analogy.
Yeah, exactly.
well like what confuses me, like for example, like Cool Herc, like people would be doing stuff like the Bart Simpson or like the crisscross, and that's considered old school hip hop dance. Old school dancehall dance is like John Hype, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then like
No, but look, you just answered your own question. Super Cat is not John Hype era. Super Cat is before John Hype. So what were people doing before John Hype and Bogle? Skanking is before Bogle. Remember I was explaining to you that skanking is more off of the Rastafarian type of culture that they just kind of chill and do like easy movement and step in. And everybody used to like, I really want to dig deeper into the skanking style. But for me, it's before even John Hype. Why would you say that confuses you? Because skanking is before John Hype.
So skanking, what I'm saying is just like, so like in hip hop, it's all considered hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what timeline or like what time period, what era. But like skanking still considered dancehall, even if it's so early, or is it still like considered reggae dancehall?
Yes, because it's in the era of the, like I said to you, the merge. So Super Cat, when skanking was, people skanked to Super Cat a lot, but I don't think skanking started with Super Cat. You get what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure people used to skank to reggae, to like you can even maybe trace skanking back to Rocksteady. You get what I'm saying? Coming into the era of when the music got slower, because you notice skanking is not a fast style. They added all this fastness to it. It's more like a 1-2 step kind of thing. So doesn't that give you the bass from Rocksteady and the bass from reggae, not much dancehall, you know?
Okay. And are there more dances included within the genre of reggae that's not within skanking at all? Or is
Not with skanking, yeah, but I think it's differentiated to like female or male type of movement. Like it would be steps. It's not a whole style, you know? Like you will have like the butterfly, you'll have like what do you call it? The Della move and all of these other it would be dance moves, not really a style.
okay.
Yeah. I love the questions, man. I like that. You're thinking deep. You trying to be an ambassador like your teacher, man.
I just want to understand.
That's good. I like that. That's exactly my purpose, bro.
All right.
I want people that want to understand. That's cool.
And thank you, Robin, for all of your help.
Justin, check out this link I just put in here. I'm sorry, Bling, but for me, like Leroy Smart is the king of skanking. So if you check this out, you can hear the music and you can see his moves, and that might help you figure out where it fits in.
All right.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Pardon?
I say you're a blessing.
Thanks.
Love the resources. I'm gonna check these out.
We should have like, what are those things, like a Discord or something where we could just like post?
I have Discord, or also on Zoom. You can add everyone on as like contacts, and I can make a whole big group chat of everyone that's in the whole dance group. If you guys would like, I can do that as well. So.
That sounds good.
That'd be awesome. Does everyone have WhatsApp? That's usually what we work through, but we could definitely do Discord if you don't. I've never
I got
get
both.
on there.
WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp.
Okay.
All right, Sean, you have to go update me. I have to go down.
What do you mean? We all leaving now.
Yeah.
Time 9:35 on a Friday in class.
Thank you for class, everyone.
No problem.
I'm gonna ask for a recap, like a review for next class. Next class we'll talk about the lecture and really, see if everybody was pleased and everybody enjoyed it. So far, so good. By the question, the interaction, I love it. It's really what it's meant to be right now. So that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had an email asking for everyone's contact, so we could just create like a class WhatsApp group, so it can be a place for reminders for class, whatever it is. Because I do email, but it looks like not everybody checks their email pretty frequently. So I think that would be a really great time to place to stay up to date with what's going on, if anything changes. Okay.
Essentially, the war crime on Kaiser is a weaker bastard.
All right, so we're all set, I guess, right? I'll see you all.
Yeah.
Okay, 12:30.
Okay, good night, guys.
Good night. See y'all on Sunday.
Hold on.
You know my email, right?
Robin.
That I put down.
Did it say
Okay. Let me just rewrite it real quick.
Bye, Lani. Have a good night.
You too. See you on Sunday.
All right. Later.
That's it. Hopefully I spelled that right. Did I spell that right? No, I did not.
I have it the first time.
Okay, good. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Change this. Should I save the chat?